This Sunday, the choir will also be presenting choral Evensong, and so a choral Evensong for the season of Lent. And we'll be using some music by some Elizabethan composers, both Thomas Tallis and William Byrd. These two folks, Thomas Tallis and William Byrd, had an interesting relationship. Tallis was probably Byrd's teacher, but they also later became friends and sort of colleagues, as they both were composing music, singing music, and in the circles of the Queen. So for the setting of the Magnificat Nunc Dimittis, the Evensong canticles, we'll be singing a service by Thomas Tallis known as the Dorian service, or the short service. And whereas a lot of times our Magnificat Nunc Dimittis settings are very elaborate with large organ accompaniments and elaborate choral settings, this is a very simple service, and this came about as the prayer book was still fairly new. And there was a desire to have the music be very direct and to just set the text almost in a chant-like rhythm to really keep the text foremost in the music. And so you'll hear almost every syllable just gets a single note, and it's a very direct expression of that canticle. Moving very quickly through the text of both the Magnificat and the Nunc Dimittis. The Nunc Dimittis is interesting. It has sort of a soprano melody with alto, tenor, and bass kind of accompanying in a very imaginative way. Something really to listen to is kind of a delight. At the anthem, we will be singing a piece by William Byrd, Miserere mei Deus, setting of the first verse of Psalm 51, that most penitential of all of our psalms. And yet, Byrd doesn't do this in some very heavy way. He does it in this really sonorous approach. So he uses 5 voices instead of just SATB, 4 voices. He adds a 5th voice, and it really creates this dense fabric of musical texture. But it doesn't quite seem so depressed, but really more relying on the comfort of God, the promise of God's mercy. So it starts off with this really large chord that's very thick. And whereas a lot of William Byrd's music is polyphonic, where each voice has its own line that's almost a melody in and of itself, and they're all woven together like fabric. This is much more like a hymn where the voices are moving more or less together. Very rich sound. And then at the office hymn, the hymn that closes Evensong, we'll be going back to Tallis and singing one of his tunes. He wrote these tunes for Psalter, and we have kept 8 of them, and several of them are in our hymnal. This tune, the 3rd tune, is known to a lot of us with the modern text. I heard the voice of Jesus say, "Come unto me and rest." That tune is also familiar to concert goers because Vaughan Williams wrote a beautiful string piece called a Fantasia on a theme by Thomas Tallis, using that melody. And that's a piece that is played by orchestras a lot and is really a favorite of Vaughan Williams. So we have a lot of great music from the Elizabethan tradition for Evensong as we come together and pray and lift our voices as the evening sacrifice. We invite you to join us for Evensong either here at the cathedral at 5 o'clock or watching on YouTube. We look forward to worshiping with you.